The Young and the Restless spoilers recap for Thursday, November 14, reveals that Abby Newman Abbott and Devin Winters will make some sweet speeches about their love before exchanging rings and saying, "I do." Moments after Devin and Abby tie the knot, there will be a loud noise and a distant glow outside. Nick Newman will fear there's been an accident and will head out to investigate, so Summer Newman will offer to call Chance Chancellor. Meanwhile, Sharon Newman will wake up confused in her car, which won't start. Once Sharon realizes she still doesn't have her phone, she'll wander over to where Phyllis Summers has crashed. Phyllis will be unconscious inside her burning vehicle, so Sharon will panic and ask herself what she's done. After Sharon rushes back to the cottage, she'll scream into a pillow and struggle to know what to do. A Nick hallucination will appear and try to convince Sharon that all this has gone too far. Although Sharon will argue that they don't even know what happened, she'll ultimately worry that she tried to get rid of Phyllis. Back with Nick, he'll realize Phyllis is stuck in her car and will yell at her to wake up. Chance will be on hand to help, but it'll be Nick who breaks out the window so they can get to Phyllis. Once Phyllis is dragged out of her vehicle, Nick will try to get her to open her eyes. Phyllis will be taken to the hospital via ambulance, so Nick will call Summer and alert her to the news. Despite the positive predictions Nick makes about Phyllis pulling through, he'll seem concerned deep down. Nick won't want Summer to be alone, so he'll urge her to go with Daniel Romalotti Jr. to Memorial. Chance will notice the tire tracks and determine that a second vehicle veered into Phyllis Lane before taking off. Nick will fume over the idea of someone doing this to Phyllis intentionally and fleeing the scene. Back at the cottage, Sharon will find her phone on the table and use it to call Nick. When Nick answers and says there's been an accident, Sharon will immediately ask if Phyllis is OK. Nick will question how Sharon knew Phyllis was in the crash and will ask if Sharon was involved in this. Sharon will cry as she admits she needs to see Nick and will beg him to come to replace as soon as he can. Victor Newman will also get updates on Phyllis' ordeal, so he'll bring Nikki Newman up to speed. However, Victor won't want to ruin Abby and Devon's wedding memories, so he'll hold off on telling everyone else. After Jill Abbott admits to Billy Abbott that she's selling Chancellor to Victor, Billy will try to stop this. Victor will do some gloating before Jill continues her conversation with Billy in private. Jill will admit she's not sure Billy will ever be ready to run the company, but he'll warn that there's no coming back if she goes through with this. Later, Jill will tell Lily Winters about her decision and hint that even when she feels terrific, her test results say otherwise. Jill won't think she has the luxury of time to wait this out, so she'll want a clean break to cut out all the stress. Although Victoria Newman will grill Victor about the obvious Chancellor purchase, he'll refuse to talk business with her at the celebration. Audra Charles will also stir up some tension at the reception by taking some digs about marriage being archaic and a crock. After Diane Jenkins Abbott clashes with Jack Abbott and Kyle Abbott, Victor will decide Diane can run Glissade. That'll leave Diane wondering what the catch is. Victor will push Diane to fire Kyle herself, and he'll want her to do it tonight. If Diane can do that, then Victor will vow to have the contract waiting for Diane in the morning. Diane will suspect Victor doesn't think she has the nerve to go through with this. Nevertheless, Diane will drag Kyle away from his fellow guests to announce that she's taken control of Glissade, which leaves Kyle officially out. As Thursday's I and R episode concludes, Jordan will slip into a cheap motel room and tell Ian Ward that it's done and that everything has gone exactly according to plan. Ian will smile as he exclaims over how wonderful that is. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Jordan and Ian's twisted partnership will bring even more curveballs, so stay tuned. CDL is where you want to be for Hot Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, updates, and news, so make us your go-to Y and R source. Hey everyone, welcome back to Radiant Serum. I'm Aubrey, and I hope your day is shining bright. Thank you for joining me. Let's jump right into today's video. In The Young and the Restless, things take a dark and intense turn as Phyllis becomes fixated on proving Sharon's guilt in a recent tragedy, with the stakes higher than ever for her family. Phyllis confronts Lauren and Nick at society, determined to expose Sharon as the culprit to save her son Daniel from wrongful accusations. Despite their pleas to drop her relentless pursuit, Phyllis stands firm, demanding they support her or step out of her life entirely. After storming off, Nick and Lauren express growing concerns about Phyllis's obsession with Sharon, wishing they had evidence to clear Daniel's name and bring the real criminal to light. Meanwhile, wedding preparations are underway at the Abbott mansion, where Abby and Ashley share a heartfelt mother-daughter moment. Ashley is emotional seeing her daughter about to marry Devin, who has been a rock in Abby's life. While Abby is thrilled, she's apprehensive about her estranged father, Neil, and her half-sister, Lily, whose ongoing dispute with Devin may cast a shadow over the ceremony. Nevertheless, Abby is hopeful that Lily will set aside differences to support her big day. At Newman Enterprises, the corporate tension continues as Jill meets with Victor to discuss Chancellor Winter's future. Jill, defiant despite recent health challenges, isn't willing to relinquish her hold on Chancellor to Victor, who proposes a lucrative buyout to bring the company back under Newman control. Victor hints that he'd like to see Nikki run Chancellor, feeling it aligns with Catherine Chancellor's legacy. Jill, not ready to let go, finds herself at a crossroads, questioning what's best for her health and her company. Elsewhere, Phyllis and Sharon have an explosive confrontation that brings their rivalry to a boiling point. Phyllis storms into Sharon's suite, accusing her of hiding incriminating evidence and intensifying her vendetta against her. Sharon dismisses Phyllis's wild allegations, seeing them as a desperate attempt to distract from her own issues. The argument escalates when Phyllis implies Sharon is directly responsible for Heather's death. Refusing to be intimidated, Sharon pushes past Phyllis, only to have Phyllis summon Chance to settle things once and for all. Back at Crimson Lights, Devin continues to reach out to Lily, hoping she will set aside her issues to support him at his wedding. Although frustrated by his persistence, Lily agrees to attend, vowing to keep the peace even if it means facing Victor with a forced smile. Billy's sudden appearance adds to the tension as he tries to reconcile with Lily and extend a job offer. Devin, protective of his sister, insists that Lily steer clear of Billy's influence, but Billy presses on, hoping to mend their broken bond. As emotions flare and alliances shift, the lives of Genoa City's residents grow increasingly entangled. With love, rivalry, and power struggles intensifying, no one can predict how the next chapter will unfold in this riveting saga of loyalty, betrayal, and high-stakes drama. In The Young and the Restless, things take a dark and intense turn as Phyllis becomes fixated on proving Sharon's guilt in a recent tragedy. With the stakes higher than ever for her family, Phyllis confronts Lauren and Nick at society, determined to expose Sharon as the culprit to save her son Daniel from wrongful accusations. Despite their pleas to drop her relentless pursuit, Phyllis stands firm, demanding they support her or step out of her life entirely. After storming off, Nick and Lauren express growing concerns about Phyllis's obsession with Sharon, wishing they had evidence to clear Daniel's name and bring the real criminal to light. Meanwhile, wedding preparations are underway at the Abbott mansion, where Abby and Ashley share a heartfelt mother-daughter moment. Ashley is emotional seeing her daughter about to marry Devin, who has been a rock in Abby's life. While Abby is thrilled, she's apprehensive about her estranged father, Neil, and her half-sister, Lily, whose ongoing dispute with Devin may cast a shadow over the ceremony. Nevertheless, Abby is hopeful that Lily will set aside differences to support her big day. At Newman Enterprises, the corporate tension continues as Jill meets with Victor to discuss Chancellor Winter's future. Jill, defiant despite recent health challenges, isn't willing to relinquish her hold on Chancellor to Victor, who proposes a lucrative buyout to bring the company back under Newman control. Victor hints that he'd like to see Nikki run Chancellor, feeling it aligns with Catherine Chancellor's legacy. Jill, not ready to let go, finds herself at a crossroads, questioning what's best for her health and her company. Elsewhere, Phyllis and Sharon have an explosive confrontation that brings their rivalry to a boiling point. Phyllis storms into Sharon's suite, accusing her of hiding incriminating evidence and intensifying her vendetta against her. Sharon dismisses Phyllis's wild allegations, seeing them as a desperate attempt to distract from her own issues. The argument escalates when Phyllis implies Sharon is directly responsible for Heather's death. Refusing to be intimidated, Sharon pushes past Phyllis, only to have Phyllis summon Chance to settle things once and for all. Back at Crimson Lights, Devin continues to reach out to Lily, hoping she will set aside her issues to support him at his wedding. Although frustrated by his persistence, Lily agrees to attend, vowing to keep the peace even if it means facing Victor with a forced smile. Billy's sudden appearance adds to the tension as he tries to reconcile with Lily and extend a job offer. Devin, protective of his sister, insists that Lily steer clear of Billy's influence, but Billy presses on, hoping to mend their broken bond. As emotions flare and alliances shift, the lives of Genoa City's residents grow increasingly entangled. With love, rivalry, and power struggles intensifying, no one can predict how the next chapter will unfold in this riveting saga of loyalty, betrayal, and high-stakes drama. Spoilers ahead. Get ready for a jaw-dropping twist on the young and the restless. In a shocking revelation that is sure to leave fans reeling, Jill Abbott has confessed to her son Billy that she didn't just cooperate with Victor Newman, she faked it all for revenge. This explosive confession is set to send shockwaves through Genoa City as Jill's secret plan for vengeance is unveiled, throwing her relationships with both Billy and Victor into turmoil. Jill's devious plot unraveled. For months, viewers have watched as Jill seemed to play along with Victor Newman's manipulations. Her interactions with the powerful mogul were puzzling, leaving fans wondering if she was truly aligning herself with the ruthless business tycoon or simply pretending to do so for her own motives. Now the truth is out, and it's far more devious than anyone could have imagined. In a shocking heart-to-heart with her son Billy Abbott, Jill finally admits the truth. She never intended to work with Victor. Instead, she had been playing a dangerous game, pretending to be on Victor's side in order to get revenge on him for past wrongs. The idea of exacting revenge on Victor, a man who has been at the center of countless business wars and family dramas, sends chills down viewers' spines. But what could have possibly motivated Jill to go down such a risky path? Why did Jill want revenge on Victor? Jill's confession raises an important question. What exactly did Victor do to Jill that made her want to go to such extreme lengths for revenge? The answer is buried in a long history of bad blood between the Abbott and Newman families, full of corporate rivalries, betrayals, and long-standing grudges. Victor has crossed Jill before, especially in the cutthroat world of business. In the past, he's been involved in various schemes that have negatively affected Jill's family, including her son Billy. Victor's manipulative tactics and dominance over the corporate world have always been a thorn in Jill's side, and this vendetta may have been brewing for years. But now, Jill is ready to confront Victor head-on, using his own tactics against him. In her confession, Jill explains that her plan was always to use Victor's trust to her advantage. She wanted to get close enough to him to expose his weaknesses, manipulate him in return, and ultimately take him down. With her business savvy and sharp instincts, Jill knew she could play the game better than Victor expected. Billy's reaction: shock, betrayal, and confusion. Billy Abbott is reeling from his mother's confession. For years, Billy has been caught in the crossfire of the Abbott-Newman rivalry, and his relationship with his mother has always been complicated. Jill has made tough decisions before, but the fact that she deceived one of the most dangerous men in Genoa City and put herself in harm's way to do it shocks Billy to his core. Billy's reaction to Jill's revelation is one of betrayal and confusion. How could Jill, a woman who has always been fiercely protective of her family, risk everything for the sake of revenge? Billy's moral compass has often been at odds with his mother's methods, and now that Jill has come clean, he's left wondering if he can truly trust her intentions. But Jill insists that her ultimate goal was always to protect Billy and the Abbott family. In her mind, taking down Victor, who has often used Billy as a pawn in his own schemes, is a way to ensure that her son doesn't fall victim to Victor's manipulations in the future. However, this revelation could also place a significant strain on Billy and Jill's relationship moving forward. As Billy grapples with the weight of Jill's actions, the question remains, will he stand by her, or will this be the breaking point that drives a wedge between them? Victor's wrath, what happens next? Victor Newman, never one to be outsmarted or betrayed without retaliation, will undoubtedly have a strong reaction to Jill's plot being exposed. As the powerful patriarch of the Newman family, Victor has made his fair share of enemies, but Jill Abbott's betrayal may sting the most. After all, he thought he had her under control, and now he realizes he's been outplayed. Victor is known for his ruthless vengeance, and if Jill thought her revenge would go unpunished, she might be in for a rude awakening. Will Victor plot his own counterattack, or will he be forced to respect Jill's cunning? Either way, the next move in this deadly game of corporate chess will be one to watch closely. The fallout. Will Jill's revenge destroy her family? Jill's actions may have put her at odds with Victor, but they've also put her relationship with her son Billy in jeopardy. Will Billy forgive her for playing such a dangerous game with Victor, or will the betrayal be too much for him to handle? For Billy, who has always tried to distance himself from the Newmans and the business world they dominate, this latest twist is a bitter pill to swallow. He's spent years trying to carve out a life for himself outside of his family's corporate legacy, but now he finds himself once again drawn into the web of family feuds and business warfare. If Jill's revenge backfires in any way, it could have disastrous consequences for both the Abbott family and their standing in the business world. Billy, as the head of Jabot, has his own responsibilities to consider. And if his mother's actions endanger everything he's worked for, Billy could be forced to make a difficult choice between loyalty to his family and his desire to stay out of the Newman-Forrester drama. What's next for Jill and Billy? Now that Jill's secret is out, the big question remains, how will the fallout from this revelation affect the Abbott family moving forward? Will Billy be able to reconcile with his mother, or will their relationship be permanently damaged by her thirst for vengeance? Jill is no stranger to taking risks, but this move against Victor could be her biggest gamble yet. It will be fascinating to see how she navigates the aftermath of her confession, and whether she can regain Billy's trust after putting him in the middle of such a dangerous plot. As for Victor, one thing is certain, he won't forget this betrayal, and his next move is sure to be just as unpredictable and explosive as Jill's shocking confession. Stay tuned to The Young and the Restless for more explosive twists and turns as the drama between Jill, Billy, Victor, and the rest of Genoa City continues to heat up. Spoilers ahead. The drama on The Young and the Restless is about to reach new heights with the explosive return of Tucker McCall. After years of being off the canvas, the enigmatic business tycoon is back, and his return could be the biggest twist Genoa City has seen in years. Get ready for a whirlwind of secrets, power struggles, and jaw-dropping confrontations as Tucker re-enters the lives of the residents of Genoa City. Tucker McCall's long-awaited return. For longtime fans of The Young and the Restless, Tucker McCall is a name that carries weight. Played by the charismatic Trevor Street John, Tucker has always been a character shrouded in mystery, someone with the power to manipulate, control, and shake up the lives of those around him. Whether it was his complicated relationships with the Abbott and Newman families or his tumultuous romance with Ashley Abbott, Tucker has always been a force to be reckoned with. His sudden and mysterious disappearance left viewers wondering what had happened to the powerful businessman. But now, after years of absence, Tucker's return has been confirmed, and it promises to be the biggest game changer yet. Why is Tucker back? The burning question on every fan's mind is, why is Tucker McCall back in Genoa City? Is it business, personal, or something far more sinister? Tucker's return isn't just a random visit, he has a reason, and it's one that could impact every major player in town. Business power play. Tucker's business acumen is legendary, and his return could spell trouble for some of Genoa City's most influential families. Will he make a play for the Newman or Abbott fortunes, or is there a bigger corporate war brewing? With so many power struggles currently unfolding, Tucker's reappearance could trigger a massive shift in the corporate landscape of Genoa City. Will he target Jack Abbott's growing empire or set his sights on Victor Newman's empire? Family drama. Tucker's personal relationships are just as complex as his business dealings. His strained relationship with his son, Devin Hamilton, has been one of the most significant unresolved storylines. Will his return be a chance for Tucker to mend fences with Devin, or will their relationship spiral further into chaos? With Devin's ongoing struggles with his family and Tucker's history of manipulation, there's no telling how this reunion will unfold. Romantic entanglements. Tucker's return could also stir up trouble on the romantic front. His past with Ashley Abbott was filled with passion, betrayal, and heartbreak, and it's likely that their unresolved chemistry will reignite. Will Tucker try to rekindle his relationship with Ashley, or will he cause even more drama by bringing new romantic complications into her life? Secrets and scandals. Tucker is no stranger to keeping secrets, and his return could spell trouble for those whose lives are already filled with deception and intrigue. Could he be hiding something that will shake the foundations of Genoa City? Fans can expect Tucker to bring some shocking revelations with him, secrets that may not only affect his own life, but also the lives of those he left behind. What will Tucker's return mean for the Newmans? Victor Newman has spent years building his empire, and he doesn't take kindly to anyone threatening his control. Tucker's re-entry into Genoa City could spell disaster for Victor, who has had his hands full with family dramas, business rivalries, and his complicated relationship with his children. Will Tucker team up with Victor to take over even more of Genoa City's business scene? Or will the two men clash in an epic showdown for dominance? Tucker's return may also reignite old rivalries with the Newman family. His past with Nikki, Victoria, and even Adam could create intense drama, especially if Tucker has unfinished business with any of them. With all the tensions surrounding Victor's empire, Tucker's timing could not be more perfect or more dangerous. Jack Abbott, a potential ally or enemy. Another key figure that Tucker could target is Jack Abbott. Jack has been expanding the Abbott family business and strengthening his position in the corporate world. Could Tucker see Jack as a threat, or will the two men find common ground and form an unlikely alliance? Jack's deep ties to the Newman and Abbott families make him a powerful figure in Genoa City, and Tucker's return could either cause a rift or bring them closer together in the fight for power. What makes this situation even more interesting is Tucker's history with the Abbott family, particularly with Jack's sister, Ashley. Their past is filled with passion, betrayal, and unresolved feelings. With Ashley still a prominent player in both the Abbott family business and her personal life, Tucker's return could force Ashley to confront old emotions and potentially complicate her already complicated relationships with Jack and the rest of the Abbott clan. Devin and Tucker, father and son reunite? One of the most emotional and highly anticipated aspects of Tucker's return will be his relationship with his son, Devin Hamilton. Devin has always struggled with the absence of his father, and Tucker's past actions, particularly his abandonment of Devin and his attempt to take control of Devin's fortune, left deep scars. Will Tucker return to make amends with Devin, or has too much damage been done for any kind of reconciliation to take place? Devin has become a powerful figure in Genoa City on his own, and he won't be easily manipulated. The dynamic between father and son promises to be one of the most gripping storylines to watch as Tucker's return unfolds. Can they heal the rift, or is this a reunion built on betrayal? Ashley Abbott, a storm of emotions. Tucker's history with Ashley Abbott is as complicated as it gets. Their romance was full of passion, but it was also marred by deceit and heartbreak. Ashley has moved on since Tucker's departure, but her unresolved feelings for him, combined with the complications of her current relationship with Jack, could make her vulnerable to Tucker's charm once again. Will Tucker try to win Ashley back, or will he cause even more chaos in her life by reopening old wounds? Ashley's emotional journey promises to be one of the most exciting parts of Tucker's return. Expect the unexpected. With Tucker McCall's return to Genoa City, viewers can expect nothing less than shocking twists, intense confrontations, and high-stakes drama. Whether he's playing the business game, stirring up family drama, or rekindling old flames, Tucker is bound to leave a trail of chaos in his wake. The young and the restless fans should brace themselves for the ultimate power play as Tucker McCall shakes up Genoa City in ways that no one could have predicted. His return will have everyone asking, who will he ally with, who will he betray, and how far will he go to get what he wants? Don't miss a single moment. Tucker McCall's return is set to change everything on The Young and the Restless. Spoilers alert. The Young and the Restless has reached an epic milestone with its 13,000th episode, and it's a game changer. Fans have been on the edge of their seats for months, eagerly awaiting the shocking truth behind Heather Stevens' mysterious death. In this historic episode, Y&R drops the bombshell fans have been waiting for. The real killer of Heather Stevens is finally revealed. Get ready for twists, turns, and a revelation that will leave you speechless. The Heather Stevens mystery, a dark cloud over Genoa City. For weeks, The Young and the Restless has kept viewers hooked with the unanswered questions surrounding Heather Stevens' untimely death. After being found dead under suspicious circumstances, the question of who was responsible for her murder has plagued Genoa City. Many characters were suspects, and the list of potential killers grew longer with each passing episode. As tensions rose, fans were left in suspense as clues were pieced together, with each new revelation leading to more questions than answers. Was it a crime of passion, a tragic accident, or something more sinister? The twists and turns in the investigation had fans hooked, but everyone knew that the truth was bound to come out, eventually. The big reveal, Heather's real killer exposed, in a jaw-dropping moment that will go down in Y&R history. The 13,000th episode finally sheds light on the identity of Heather Stevens' killer, and it's not who anyone expected. Warning, major spoilers ahead. The killer is none other than Phyllis Summers. Yes, you read that right. Phyllis, one of Genoa City's most iconic characters, is revealed as the true murderer. For weeks, viewers have seen Phyllis struggle with her emotions, particularly her feelings of guilt and rage. But no one could have predicted that her rage would have led to murder. The shocking truth comes out during a heated confrontation in the episode, where Phyllis, unable to hide the weight of her secret any longer, confesses to her role in Heather's death. As the pieces of the puzzle fall into place, it becomes clear that Phyllis' actions were not a random act of violence. Heather's death was the result of a tragic confrontation between the two women, fueled by a mixture of jealousy, betrayal, and a history of unresolved conflicts. The motive, what led Phyllis to murder? The big question on everyone's mind is, why would Phyllis kill Heather? Over the years, Phyllis has been involved in many dramatic storylines, often finding herself in conflict with other characters. But Heather Stevens was always a bit of a wild card in Genoa City, and Phyllis' motive was far more personal than anyone could have imagined. It turns out that Phyllis was driven by a deep sense of betrayal. Heather's return to Genoa City had stirred up old wounds, particularly concerning her relationship with Nick Newman. Phyllis had always seen Heather as a rival, and when she discovered that Heather was planning to rekindle her relationship with Nick, Phyllis snapped. What started as a heated argument escalated into something far darker, ultimately leading to Heather's tragic death. Phyllis' emotional breakdown in the aftermath of the murder was heartbreaking to watch, as she struggled with the reality of what she had done. Despite her long-standing resentment toward Heather, Phyllis never imagined it would lead to something so irreversible. But now, with the truth out in the open, Phyllis must face the consequences of her actions. The fallout. What's next for Phyllis and Genoa City? With Heather's killer revealed, The Young and the Restless is now poised for even more drama and upheaval in Genoa City. Phyllis' confession is bound to have major repercussions for her relationships with everyone in her life, including her family, friends, and former lovers. Nick Newman, Phyllis' ex-husband and the object of Heather's affections, Nick will be left reeling from the truth. Not only will he have to come to terms with the fact that the woman he once loved is responsible for a murder, but he will also have to deal with the fallout in his already complicated relationships with Phyllis and others in the Newman family. Jack Abbott. As Phyllis' former lover, Jack's loyalty to her will be severely tested. Will he stand by her side in the wake of this shocking revelation, or will he have to make an impossible decision about their future? The Newman family, Victor and Nikki, will certainly have their own reactions to this bombshell, and the drama surrounding the Newman family will only escalate as they grapple with the news. Genoa City's residents. The people of Genoa City will likely be shocked by the truth, as Phyllis' reputation as a strong, independent woman will be forever tainted by her dark actions. How will her friends and enemies react to the revelation that Phyllis is capable of such violence? A game-changing episode. The 13,000th episode of The Young and the Restless is a landmark moment in soap opera history, and it's clear that the show's creators have delivered one of the most shocking twists in years. Heather's murder mystery has kept fans guessing for months, and now that the truth has been revealed, the impact on the storyline will be far-reaching. I&R has never shied away from exploring dark, complicated characters, and Phyllis Summers' descent into violence adds a new layer to her already complicated legacy. As fans watch the aftermath of this shocking confession unfold, they can expect even more dramatic confrontations, emotional turmoil, and unexpected twists. Stay tuned as the fallout from Heather's murder continues to ripple through Genoa City. The Young and the Restless promises more suspense and jaw-dropping moments in the episodes to come. What will become of Phyllis now that her dark secret is out? And how will this revelation change the lives of those involved? Tune in to find out. Earlier this month, we shared a video of The Young and the Restless star Melissa Ordway's new haircut, where she went from long to extremely short, and though it appeared at the time she just needed a change, the actress has now revealed exactly why she made the drastic move. During a few Instagram stories, Ordway was answering fan questions on November 13, the same day the CBS soap aired its 13,000th episode, which surrounded Abby and Devon's wedding. When asked what made her cut her hair, she replied, "Honestly, it's been an interesting couple of months. The show decided to take me off contract, so I decided to change my look up a bit for auditions." She went on to admit, "Definitely not something I wanted, but I love and respect my Y&R family and appreciate any time they ask me back." In another story, she went on to explain exactly what off-contract means and stated, "I'm still playing Abby. I'm just not guaranteed episodes and can work on other projects. I'm still a part of the Y&R family and pray they continue to let Abby be a part of all the things in Genoa City. Trust me, I hope I'm still there all the time." To further explain the move made by the show, regarding the role she's held since 2013, Aubrey added, "I think they're just focusing on other characters and storylines," then teased, "But I work today and lots of fun stuff coming up." Abby and Devin just got married, and it looks like the couple might just live happily ever after, given that Melissa Ordway has revealed that she is no longer on contract at The Young and the Restless. While stuck on an airplane, the actress decided to kill time by answering fan questions in her Instagram stories, and one of them asked why she recently cut her hair short. "Honestly, it's been an interesting couple of months," Ordway confided. "The show decided to take me off contract, so I decided to change my look up a bit for auditions. Definitely not something I wanted, but I love and respect my Y&R family and appreciate any time they asked me back." Last October, Ordway and her family, husband Justin Gaston and their daughters Olivia and Sophie, moved into their new home, and in October 2024, she announced they'd bought a cabin and were in the process of restoring it. The actress has been commuting from her home in Tennessee to the Y&R set in Los Angeles for years now. "I love Nashville," she told another fan, "but LA will always have my heart too." Ordway joined the cast of Y&R back in 2013 to take over the role of Abby Newman from Emma Raylan. In 2022, she was nominated for the Outstanding Supporting Actress Daytime Emmy Award. But viewers shouldn't worry that Abby and Devon's lavish wedding will be the last they'll see of her. "I'm still playing Abby," Ordway clarified for her fans. "I'm just not guaranteed episodes and can work on other projects. I'm still a part of the Y&R family and pray they continue to let Abby be a part of all the things in Genoa City. Trust me, I hope I'm still there all the time. I think they're just focusing on other characters and storylines. But I work today and lots of fun stuff given my and Ring Up's taping schedule. Fans can expect to see Abby again for the Christmas holidays and perhaps even New Year's. But who knows what the future might hold. In daytime, you never know what twists and turns might be right around the corner." We too hope to see more of Abby in the future, but wish the actress the very best on all of her new endeavors. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that the show is taking advantage of a great opportunity by giving Jordan the perfect partner in crime. We all knew it was just a matter of time until Jordan unleashed more chaos. And based on confirmation in the November 14 episode, she's indeed back and in cahoots with Ian Ward. Earlier this year, CDL suggested that Jordan and Ian would be the ideal scheming partners. There's no denying that Ian and Jordan want revenge on a lot of the same people, so it's easy to see why Y&R would go for this angle. Ian was always a master of getting out of the slammer. So maybe he heard the news about Jordan's vengeful Newman plots and got impressed. Perhaps Ian helped Jordan escape, despite Victor Newman's efforts to keep her locked in a maximum security prison. In exchange for her freedom, Jordan certainly would have been willing to do Ian's dirty work, especially if it brought pain upon the Newmans and those connected to them. Of course, it's also possible that a romance developed along the way, which would give Jordan another reason to please Ian in this alliance. Whatever the case, Jordan may have killed Heather Stevens for Ian that night, while Sharon Newman was blacked out. It was once believed that Dylan McAvoy was Ian's child with Nikki Newman, so Ian was robbed of a son when it turned out Dylan belonged to Paul Williams. Ian might have decided to rob Paul of a daughter and even the score. Plus, Paul made sure Ian was arrested for his crimes, so there were good reasons for Ian to retaliate. Ian also raised Maria Copeland in a cult and drugged her into a sham marriage, so he may be messing with Sharon now for putting her daughter on the right path without him. Ian has a tense history with Phyllis as well, Not to mention Phyllis basically involved herself in all this through her fixation on Sharon's guilt. Sharon and Phyllis are very intertwined with the Newman clan through Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, and their children, so hurting them would be fine by Jordan. Jordan is apparently the one who ran Phyllis off the road and was likely the real culprit behind Heather's demise. This storyline seems a bit convoluted, but it all boils down to Jordan and Ian having mutual enemies they want to destroy. Between that and their joint desire for villainous chaos in general, it makes sense for Ian and Jordan to team up. Our predictions point to plenty of twists and turns now that Ian's partnership with Jordan has been revealed, so stay tuned for updates on all the mayhem ahead. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Jordan and Ian still have plenty of tricks to pull, so stay tuned. CDL's where you want to be for exciting Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, updates, and news, so make us your favorite way and our hotspot. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Melissa Ordway recently did a Q&A with fans through her Instagram stories. That led to some news about Ordway's status on the show, so let's discuss what she confirmed. If you follow Ordway on social media, you probably know by now that she recently changed up her look with a short hairdo. Of course, viewers haven't seen Ordway's new haircut on screen yet, but she said Abby would be sporting it when she got back from her honeymoon with Devin Winters. When asked about the reason for the fresh look, Ordway admitted it was because she knew she'd be going out on auditions. It turns out Y&R took Ordway off contract, so she was hoping to score more roles away from the show with this mini makeover. Honestly, it's been an interesting couple of months, Ordway said. The show decided to take me off contract, so I decided to change up my look a bit for auditions. In case you thought it might have been Melissa Ordway's choice to become a recurring player, she offered confirmation that it wasn't. Ordway would have preferred to keep her contract status, but she's staying positive and respectful about the whole situation. Definitely not something I wanted, but I love and respect my Y&R family and appreciate any time they ask me back, Ordway said before adding a heart emoji. Some fans immediately started panicking at the thought of Ordway possibly leaving the show, but she clarified that she simply doesn't get guaranteed a set number of episodes anymore. Now Ordway is free to work on other projects, but she's still playing Abby and will be seen in Genoa City whenever the show wants her. Ordway suggested that they're focusing on other characters and storylines at the moment. But I work today and lots of fun stuff coming up, Ordway said in her Instagram stories on November 13. Bottom line, cast cuts like this one allow the show to save money when they don't use certain players all the time. Since Melissa Ordway is willing to stick around in a recurring capacity, there's no reason to think Y&R plans to write her out. That's especially true now that Abby and Devin are kicking off a new chapter as a married couple. Abby will presumably just be busy working and enjoying that bliss off-screen most of the time. The Young and the Restless spoilers say there could be other cast changes brewing, so we'll pass along more predictions along with any comings and goings updates. CDL's where you want to be for the hottest Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, updates, and news, so stop by often. Tensions have reached a boiling point on the Young and the Restless as Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers find themselves locked in a fierce battle that threatens to unravel both of their lives. The conflict between these two powerful women reaches new heights, with Phyllis determined to expose Sharon's dark secrets and bring her to justice. Phyllis is hell-bent on revealing the truth behind Heather's tragic death and Sharon's role in framing her son Daniel. In retaliation, Sharon, feeling cornered and desperate, agrees to team up with Cameron to stage an accident designed to silence Phyllis once and for all. But Sharon's plan quickly spirals out of control. What was meant to be a carefully orchestrated accident goes awry, setting off a chain of events that no one could have predicted. Phyllis, ever vigilant, miraculously survives the staged accident. Her resolve to confront Sharon intensifies as she seeks justice for her daughter Heather and to protect her son Daniel. The two women's confrontation becomes inevitable, and when they finally face each other, it is nothing short of explosive. Phyllis revealed Sharon's dark plots, and in a moment of utter desperation, Sharon lunges at Phyllis. The ensuing struggle sees Phyllis using all her strength to overpower Sharon, knocking her unconscious in the process. When Sharon regains consciousness, she is horrified to find herself tied to a bed in a dimly lit room, facing Phyllis with a determined, almost triumphant look. Phyllis, no longer willing to show any mercy, declares she won't release Sharon until she confesses to all her crimes. Sharon, now fully trapped in her own schemes, is forced to confront the reality of her actions and the darkness that has consumed her. As Phyllis begins to interrogate her, Sharon realizes that all her efforts to escape accountability have collapsed, and she must now face the consequences alone. Meanwhile, Nick Newman begins to piece together the mystery surrounding Sharon's increasingly erratic behavior. The shocking events surrounding Phyllis's accident lead him to suspect that Sharon may have gone too far. As he uncovers the truth, a phone call from Summer interrupts his investigation. Summer fears for her mother's safety and insists that Nick come with her immediately. What they find when they arrive is a disturbing scene: Sharon, tied up and completely helpless, in Phyllis's control. Nick's emotions are torn as he confronts Phyllis, demanding to know why she's holding Sharon captive. Phyllis, calm and collected, recounts Sharon's many sins, from manipulating Phyllis to framing Daniel. The story forces Nick to see Sharon in a new light. The woman he once trusted and loved is no longer the same, and the truth is undeniable. Though Nick feels conflicted about freeing Sharon, he can't ignore what he has just learned about her. After Sharon is freed, her silence gives way to fury. She decides to fight back against Phyllis through the legal system, filing a lawsuit with the hopes of seeing Phyllis arrested and punished for her actions. The legal battle between the two women escalates, becoming a highly publicized struggle for justice and accountability. Sharon now claims the role of the victim, determined to make Phyllis pay for what she's done. Phyllis, however, remains unrepentant. She stands firm in her belief that her actions were necessary to protect her family and to seek justice for Heather. As the legal fight intensifies, Phyllis refuses to back down, and the stakes continue to rise. For Sharon, it's a desperate attempt to salvage what's left of her reputation, but the truth of her past continues to haunt her. Phyllis, despite achieving her goal, faces criticism from her own family and friends for the extreme lengths she has gone to. The battle between Sharon and Phyllis has transformed from a personal vendetta into a larger symbol of guilt and punishment, one that neither woman can escape easily. As they each fight for their own version of justice, the question remains: will Sharon be able to escape the consequences of her actions, or will Phyllis's pursuit of truth be the end of Sharon's carefully constructed life? Stay tuned for more updates on this intense showdown between two of Genoa City's fiercest women. The Young and the Restless spoilers remind fans that Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, may know Billy Abbott can be a wild card when it comes to business, but she also loves her son and believes he has what it takes to run a successful company. After all, that's why she placed him at the head of Abbott Chancellor to begin with. She also recruited him to the conglomerate in the first place, so she'd have a voice amongst all the Winters who were originally part of Winter's Chancellor. On the other side of the coin, Jill knows just how sneaky and manipulative Victor Newman can be. These two don't only have a history when it comes to business, but also romantic endeavors. This is why the Wednesday, November 13 episode has had so many fans shocked and skeptical about Jill's latest move. Is Jill really ready to hand over Abbott Chancellor to Victor? She's been burned multiple times by him, and she has to know one of the main reasons he wants her company is to knock Billy off a peg or two and completely humiliate him. Victor has had a major vendetta with Billy for years now, not to mention his older brother, Jack Abbott. While Jill has had her fair share of health issues, lately, fans shouldn't count out that her scheming side could come out roaring. What if Jill is simply swerving Victor into thinking she'd sell Abbott Chancellor, only to rip the rug from right under him? As of this writing, it's hard to tell if Jill has signed a contract yet or not. She also isn't exactly friends with Victor, so she may have a massive revenge scheme of her own up her sleeve to ensure that Victor is hit hard and stays away from any Chancellor takeover ideas, for good. The Young and the Restless spoilers note that fans are only midway through November sweeps, and there's still plenty of shockers the soap could pull out. Jill swerving Victor into believing he's got his hands on Chancellor, only to steer Billy straight, could be a plot twist on the horizon. CDL is where it's at for the best Young and the Restless predictions, spoilers, updates, and news, so visit this site, often for all the best Y and R-related information. The Young and the Restless fans are in for a jaw-dropping twist as Sharon Newman finds herself in an unexpected and dangerous situation behind bars. Known for her caring nature, strong morals, and fierce loyalty to her family, Sharon has never been a character viewers would expect to land in jail. But the latest spoilers reveal a shocking turn of events that could change the course of Sharon's life, and the lives of those around her, forever. Sharon's unlikely descent into trouble. Sharon Newman has always been a fixture in Genoa City, known for her relationships with key characters like Nick Newman, Victor Newman, and of course, her role as a loving mother to her children. However, this latest development in her storyline paints a very different picture. What caused Sharon, who has spent years as a central, well-liked figure, to land in jail? Spoilers suggest that Sharon's arrest comes as a result of a series of unfortunate and explosive events involving some of Genoa City's most volatile characters. Sharon, who is always trying to do the right thing, finds herself in a situation that spirals out of control. It's possible that Sharon's involvement in a criminal situation stems from her protection of a loved one, leading her to make a series of choices that are out of character but ultimately place her in jeopardy. A dark connection, Sharon's link to the crime. The big question is, what crime is Sharon being accused of? Could she be the victim of a setup, or is she caught up in a larger, more dangerous web of deception? According to spoilers, Sharon's arrest is tied to a much bigger mystery unfolding in Genoa City. It's been hinted that Sharon may have unintentionally become involved in something much darker than she ever anticipated. While Sharon has always been fiercely protective of her family, particularly her daughter Faith, her decision to get involved in a high-stakes situation could lead to her being wrongfully implicated in a crime. Sharon's protective instincts, combined with her recent struggles in the aftermath of her failed marriage to Ray Rosales, could have clouded her judgment and led to her taking actions that land her in serious legal trouble. Whether it's an accidental crime or something she was tricked into, Sharon's involvement will put her at the center of a major storyline with far-reaching consequences. Who is behind Sharon's arrest? While the details surrounding Sharon's arrest remain unclear, there are a few key suspects who could be involved in her downfall. Could an enemy from Sharon's past, like Adam Newman, be behind the plot to frame her for something she didn't do? Adam's complicated history with Sharon, especially in recent years, has often put the two at odds. He has a history of manipulation and scheming, which could very well involve framing someone as innocent as Sharon to further his own agenda. Alternatively, the arrest could be tied to one of Sharon's more recent relationships. Could Ray's tragic death or the unresolved drama surrounding their relationship have somehow led to Sharon becoming a target? With the lingering tension between Sharon and Ray's family, particularly his sister Lola, it's possible that Sharon's arrest could become a point of contention for those still mourning Ray's loss. What does this mean for Sharon's family? Sharon's arrest will have a massive impact on her family, particularly her ex-husband Nick Newman and their children, Faith and Noah. Nick, who has always been fiercely protective of Sharon despite their ups and downs, will be devastated by the turn of events. As Sharon's closest ally, Nick will no doubt rally to her side, trying to prove her innocence and clear her name. But with the legal system against her, it may not be so simple. Faith, who has already endured so much in her young life, will likely be shaken by the news that her mother is in jail. This could have a profound effect on their relationship, especially as Faith grapples with the consequences of Sharon's actions. Will Faith stand by her mother, or will this event drive a wedge between them? Additionally, Sharon's arrest could cause a rift with her other loved ones in Genoa City, including her best friend, Phyllis Summers. Phyllis, who has always been fiercely protective of Sharon, may find herself in a difficult position if Sharon's actions become the talk of the town. Will Phyllis defend Sharon, or will the tension between them, especially over Phyllis's own complicated relationships, cause issues for Sharon's legal battles? Sharon's future. Will she be cleared or face prison time? As Sharon faces the daunting reality of a criminal investigation, the young and the restless will no doubt keep fans on the edge of their seats as her fate hangs in the balance. Will she be able to clear her name and return to her life in Genoa City, or is this the beginning of a much darker chapter for Sharon Newman? With so many unresolved questions surrounding her arrest, it's clear that Sharon's storyline is about to take a dramatic turn. As the investigation unfolds and more details emerge, fans will be glued to their screens, wondering if Sharon can escape the charges or if she will face the ultimate price for her involvement in the crime. Stay tuned. The drama on the young and the restless is about to reach new heights, and Sharon's shocking arrest is only the beginning. As the investigation deepens and alliances shift, fans can expect even more twists and turns in this gripping storyline. Will Sharon manage to prove her innocence, or will she lose everything she's worked so hard for? Be sure to stay tuned to Y&R to find out what happens next. In a surprising twist that has left the young and the restless fans reeling, Jason Thompson, who has portrayed the beloved character of Billy Abbott, has reportedly been fired from the long-running soap opera. The news comes as a shock to viewers who have followed Thompson's portrayal of the troubled but charismatic Billy for years. As speculation about his departure swirls, many are left wondering, what prompted the exit, and how will it affect the future of his character? Jason Thompson's impact on the young and the restless. Since joining Y&R in 2016, Jason Thompson has brought a fresh energy to the role of Billy Abbott, originally made famous by Billy Miller. His portrayal of the complicated Abbott's son, who has struggled with addiction, love, and loss, quickly won over fans, establishing him as one of the show's standout characters. Thompson's Billy became a fan favorite thanks to his strong performances and chemistry with other key characters, especially his relationships with Victoria Newman, Lily Winters, and his family. Thompson's take on Billy was one of a man torn between his desire for success and his inner turmoil, a character always walking the line between redemption and self-destruction. His nuanced portrayal brought depth to the role, making Billy Abbott one of the most complex and intriguing figures on Y&R. Why was Jason Thompson fired? As of now, details surrounding Jason Thompson's exit remain largely under wraps. Neither Thompson nor Y&R has issued an official statement explaining the reasons behind the firing. Speculation is rife, with many wondering if it was a creative decision or a personal one. Soap operas are notorious for making sudden changes to their casts, whether due to storylines evolving or behind-the-scenes drama. While some sources suggest that Thompson's departure may have been tied to Y&R's evolving storylines, others point to the possibility of a contract dispute or creative differences between the actor and the show's producers. Given the nature of soap operas, it's possible that producers felt Billy's arc had reached a natural conclusion, or that the character needed a dramatic shift to fit into upcoming storylines. Whatever the reason, the timing of this exit is particularly surprising, as Billy Abbott was deeply involved in several major ongoing storylines, including his troubled relationship with Lily and his recent involvement in business rivalries at Chancellor Winters. Fans are left wondering how the show will proceed without one of its most prominent figures. What happens to Billy Abbott? While Jason Thompson's departure is confirmed, the future of Billy Abbott on The Young and the Restless remains uncertain. The big question now is, will the character be written out completely, or will Billy be recast with a new actor? Given that Billy has been a central part of the show for so long, it seems unlikely that the writers would simply write him off without closure. However, recasting an iconic role is always a tricky decision for any soap opera. Recasting Billy Abbott would be a bold move, as viewers have grown attached to Thompson's portrayal of the character. Yet, with W&R's history of recasting popular roles, it remains a possibility. Another avenue that could be explored is writing Billy out of Genoa City temporarily, perhaps through a storyline that sends him on a journey of self-discovery or takes him away from the chaos of the Abbott family business. This would allow for a potential return down the road, either with a new actor or as a reworked version of Billy in the future. How will this affect the Abbott family and the show? Billy Abbott's departure will undoubtedly have ripple effects throughout the Young and the Restless storylines, especially within the Abbott family. His relationships with his siblings, particularly Jack Abbott, have been integral to his character arc. The Abbott family dynamic will now have to adjust to the absence of one of its key members, and Jack, in particular, will feel the absence of his younger brother, with whom he has shared both moments of rivalry and deep emotional connection. Additionally, Billy's romantic relationships, especially his recent one with Lily Winters, will be left in limbo. Lily, played by Crystal Khalil, has been an important part of Billy's storyline over the past few years. Her future will now have to shift without Billy by her side, and fans will be eager to see how Y&R addresses this change. What's next for Jason Thompson? While the future of Billy Abbott on Y&R is unclear, Jason Thompson's career is far from over. The actor, who is beloved by fans for his work on the show, will undoubtedly land new opportunities, whether in television, film, or other ventures. His previous experience on General Hospital as Dr. Patrick Drake for nearly a decade before joining Y&R shows that Thompson is a versatile actor with a solid fan base. For now, fans can only wait to see what comes next for both Jason Thompson and Billy Abbott. Whether Thompson returns to daytime television in another role, or the character of Billy is recast, it's clear that Y&R will face a challenge in moving forward without one of its most established characters. Stay tuned. As more details about Jason Thompson's firing emerge, fans of The Young and the Restless will be anxiously awaiting updates on Billy Abbott's fate and how the soap will adapt to this unexpected departure. Y&R continues to be one of the most dynamic soap operas on television, and this exit is sure to shake up the drama in Genoa City. Be sure to tune in to The Young and the Restless weekdays on CBS for the latest twists and turns. Will Billy Abbott be written out or recast? Will Jason Thompson return to daytime TV in a new role? Only time will tell. The Young and the Restless fans were left on the edge of their seats this week as Sharon Newman faces an emotional upheaval, with hints that her unpredictable and dangerous sidekick, Cameron Kirsten, might be saying goodbye. Recent teasers from Ashby himself suggest a possible exit for his character, leaving viewers to wonder how this will affect Sharon's storyline and whether this could mark the end of a tumultuous partnership. Sharon and Cameron, a dangerous duo. Over the past few months, Sharon's life has taken a darker turn as she has become entangled with Cameron, a man with a sinister past who has been causing chaos in Genoa City. While Sharon is typically known for her warm heart and moral compass, her alliance with Cameron has been far from ordinary, with the two often embroiled in dangerous, unpredictable situations. Their complicated relationship has taken Sharon into some very murky waters, especially as Cameron has attempted to manipulate her emotions, using their shared history to his advantage. Cameron first arrived back in Genoa City with a vengeance, seeking to settle old scores, but it wasn't long before he started to make Sharon a central figure in his schemes. His obsession with her and their past relationship has put Sharon in difficult positions, especially as Cameron's actions have grown more erratic and threatening. Lyndon Ashby's cryptic hints. Lyndon Ashby, who has portrayed Cameron Kirsten on The Young and the Restless since 2021, recently sparked speculation about his character's future on the show. In a recent interview, Ashby dropped some intriguing hints about his time on the soap opera, suggesting that Cameron's exit might be imminent. "I can't say much, but let's just say that Cameron's time in Genoa City could be coming to an end soon," Ashby teased. "Everything comes to a conclusion, and sometimes even the craziest characters have to move on. It's been an exciting ride, but who knows what the future holds." Ashby's comments have led many fans to believe that the end of Cameron's reign of terror might be near. However, given the unpredictability of The Young and the Restless, it's still unclear whether this will mean a dramatic exit for Cameron, or whether he will simply disappear into the shadows for a while before resurfacing to create more trouble. What does this mean for Sharon? If Cameron does indeed leave Genoa City, it will be a significant turning point for Sharon. She has been deeply affected by Cameron's presence in her life, and it's hard to imagine that his departure won't leave a lasting mark on her. Could this be the beginning of Sharon reclaiming her sense of normalcy, or will she find herself haunted by his shadow for years to come? Sharon has always had a complicated love life, from her relationships with Nick Newman and Adam Newman to her tumultuous marriage to Ray Rosales. But her relationship with Cameron has been uniquely unsettling, pushing her to confront dark and dangerous parts of her personality. If Cameron is truly exiting, Sharon will likely need to process the emotional fallout from their connection and find a way to move forward without him. The bigger picture. Cameron's potential exit could also signal a larger shift in The Young and the Restless, with long-standing storylines coming to a close and new characters or conflicts rising to the forefront. As Genoa City's residents continue to grapple with their own dramas, Sharon's storyline could evolve in surprising new directions, especially if she chooses to face her demons and reclaim control over her life. Fans of The Young and the Restless will be watching closely to see how Sharon's relationship with Cameron plays out. If Ashby's cryptic statements are any indication, the drama is far from over, and Sharon may soon be forced to face her past in a way that she never expected. Whether it's a clean break or a dramatic showdown, one thing is for sure: Sharon's journey is about to take another unexpected turn. Stay tuned. The Young and the Restless airs weekdays on CBS. Be sure to tune in to see how this thrilling storyline unfolds, and whether Sharon will truly be saying goodbye to her crazy sidekick, Cameron Kirsten. The Young and the Restless spoiler shock. Lily's revenge unfolds. When Jill returned to Genoa City, she wasted no time shaking up Chancellor Winters. Without hesitation, Jill publicly humiliated Lily, delivering a dismissal that left the boardroom in stunned silence. Her fierce gaze cut through the room as she accused Lily of betrayal, not just to the company, but to the family itself. Jill was convinced that Lily had been scheming behind the scenes and vowed to expose every hidden plan. In the days that followed, Lily was consumed by a whirlwind of emotions: hurt, resentment, and a smoldering desire for revenge. She felt blindsided and betrayed. After all, she had poured herself into this business and thought herself loyal. But in the quiet moments, Lily was forced to confront a hard truth. Her loyalty had always been to her own ambition, not to the family. Billy, who had once been her confidant, was now little more than an obstacle. Her feelings for him were shallow at best. He had been a pawn in her quest to claim the CEO chair. Now, with her schemes exposed and her position lost, she found herself utterly isolated. But Jill wasn't finished. After the public showdown, Jill made her stance crystal clear, delivering a chilling warning. "Lily, if you don't get out of my family's way, you're in for a world of hurt." The words were like daggers, and as Jill slapped her with all the anger she felt, Lily staggered, feeling the sting not just on her face but in her pride. Jill's message rang loud and clear. Respect, loyalty, and power weren't hers to demand. Bruised and furious, Lily's mind focused on one thing: revenge. But Jill was a formidable adversary, and Lily knew she couldn't go it alone. She needed an ally, someone with their own grievances, someone like Devin. Though Devin's loyalty to family ran deep, he had his own frustrations and unmet ambitions. Could Lily nudge him into an alliance? Cautiously, she began to sow seeds of doubt, subtly suggesting that he deserved more power, and that perhaps Jill was holding him back. Convincing Devin would be no easy task, given his steady moral compass, but Lily was desperate. She hoped to ignite a spark that could tip him to her side, forming an alliance strong enough to challenge both Jill and Billy. What lies ahead for Lily? If she can sway Devin, the two may be able to turn the tables. But with Jill holding all the cards, and Billy still in the picture, Lily's path is fraught with peril. She knows one misstep could spell disaster. As she plots her next move, the stage is set for an intense battle, one that will either redeem her or destroy her once and for all. Stay tuned to see just how far Lily is willing to go in her pursuit of revenge.